Good morning, my fabulous English 9 students. I want to tell you what you're going to be doing this week for English 9. And it's the same whether you're in the A group or the B group. So if you're in the A group, you will be at school doing this work on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. If you're in the B group, you'll do the work at home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then on Thursday, the B group will come to school. And on Thursday, the A group will stay home and do the work. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you are, you need to do this work this week, okay? And then on Friday, there's no school. Woo! Get a day off, all right? So here's what you need to do, whether you're in the A group or the B group. Everybody's doing this work this week, okay? So in your Google Doc, your Who Was journal, you have completed, hopefully by now, you need to have done your whole book. So you should have finished reading your book and writing your 1-paragraph summaries for every day, okay? So you'll be getting points for doing that. Now we are going to move on to writing your story. So you read about a famous person, and that we said was called a biography. Bio meaning life, graph meaning writing, so it's the writing about someone's life, biography. Now you are going to write an autobiography. So it's the same thing. Bio means life, graph means writing, but auto means you do it yourself. Like an automobile, you drive yourself. An autobiography, you are writing your life story. Okay? So every day there are going to be prompts, 2 questions that you need to answer for yourself. Writing good paragraphs. Okay? So remember, we started the year talking about good paragraphs. 5 sentences. We have a topic sentence, detail, 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 conclusion. Okay? So every day I want you to write a good paragraph that tells part of your life story. Okay? So let's take a look at these prompts together so you know what you're doing this week. On Monday, the first question is, write what you know about your birth. Where and when were you born? And who is your family? So I know this might be hard for some people if you don't live with your parents or you live with a different family member. Maybe they have not told you a lot about your birth. Maybe you grew up in a place where people didn't write down what your birthday was. You maybe know the year, but not the day. Just write down what you know. Okay, so here's an example. If you go to the next slide in your Google Doc, you'll see that I put in an example for every day. So here's my example. I was born on Friday, March 14, 1975 in Storm Lake, Iowa. My parents are Ben and Judy Malcolm. My brother Ty is 2 years older than me and was very excited to have a little sister. Our sister Tara was born 4 years after I was born. I have a typo there, but I'm going to delete. So that's my example. So on your page, if you just click on that question, then you can see you have room here to write your answer. So tell me what you know about where you were born, when you were born, your parents' names, if you know your parents, if you have sisters or brothers, this is the place to write about them. Then the next question for Monday, write about your childhood. Did anything important or memorable happen when you were young? So maybe you had a big event, maybe you moved to a different place when you were a child, or maybe there was an accident that had a big effect on your life. You tell me something important from your childhood. My childhood was kind of boring, so here's my example. My childhood was very uneventful. I grew up on a farm and spent a lot of time outside. I rode a bus to school in a town 6 miles away. I loved playing Barbies with my little sister and also loved to watch cartoons. My childhood was pretty normal. So you can see there I have my topic sentence, I have my conclusion sentence, and in between I've got some details. So that's what you need to do on Monday. Answer the question about your birth, your family, and what you know about your childhood. Okay? Then moving on to Tuesday. On Tuesday, there are 2 questions for you to answer. Number 1, write about struggles or hard times you have endured, you have lived through, you have made it out of. I think almost every book that you guys read, everyone had a different book, but one thing that they have in common, those people you read about, they had some hard times in their life. And so what is something hard that you have experienced in your life that you have made it through? My example says, our family struggled to have enough money. Farming is a hard life because you need just enough sun and just enough rain. If you get too much or too little of either, the crops are ruined and you cannot sell them. If you cannot sell them, you do not have the money you need to pay for food, clothing, and shelter. Even though my family worked hard, it was sometimes difficult to pay all our bills. So what is something that you and your family have been through that you can write about here, right? Because going through hard times is what makes us strong, makes us resilient, right? So what's something hard you've lived through? And then on the other side of that slide, what are you most proud of in your life? So what is something that that it makes you feel good that you have done that you would like others to know about? My example paragraph says, my parents made sure their children were well educated. They had high expectations that we would do well in school. They yelled at us if we got any grade lower than a B. Because they made me work so hard on my schoolwork, I always got good grades and even earned scholarships for college. I am proud that my hard work paid off. So on your slide here for paragraph 2, tell me something that you are proud of in your life. 5 sentences. Okay? Now if you go to Wednesday, we're talking about your life now. So the first question says, write about your life now. What is school like? Do you have a job or responsibilities in your home? What do you do for fun? So tell me about your life now. We're not talking about the past anymore. So here's an example that I thought of as a high school student. At this point in my life, I am very busy. I go to school every day, and then I go to basketball practice after school. My family depends on me to help clean the house and cook on the weekends. When I have free time, I like to watch movies and text my friends. I am very busy, but I'm very happy. So tell me about your life. And then another question here that's talking about right now, who inspires you? So who is someone that you look to as an example or a role model? And maybe a motto that you live by. Remember we talked in ELL that some people live by the motto, treat others the way you want to be treated, or something like that. So what is a phrase or a motto like that that you live by? My example, I said, I am inspired by Malala Yousafzai, who was shot by men in her country who did not think girls should go to school and get an education like boys. When I have difficult assignments and want to give up, I think about how hard she fought for her education, and I keep going. I know that if I work hard, I will have a better future. I once heard someone say, luck looks a lot like hard work, so I work hard to get what I want. Okay? So who inspires you? Who's a person that you look up to, or a motto that you live by? And then Thursday is our last day this week because there's no school on Friday. So on Thursday, you need to finish up all these questions about yourself. So the first question is asking you about your future career goals. What do you want to do in the future for a job? And what do you have to do to make that happen? So not just, I'm going to be a nurse. Well, what do you have to do to become a nurse? Right? So in my example, I said, I dream of becoming an electrician. We live in a time when people depend on power in their homes to keep their food cold and their TVs and computers running. I would feel good if I could go into people's homes and fix what is wrong. If I go through a training program for 1 or 2 years, I can do this job and have a good life. So that's my job goal for my future. I'm just pretending that I'm in high school. And what I need to do that. Do you have to go to college? Can you do a training program? What do you need to do for that career goal? And then the last question is about your family and maybe some vacations or travel that you would like to do in the future. So I wrote, I would love to have a family and do more traveling. I hope to get married and have 3 or 4 children. I would like for us to get outside as much as possible so they grow up loving nature. When they are older, I hope we can take family trips to California and Florida. Maybe we could even fly to Paris someday to see the Eiffel Tower. I hope to have a happy future with my family. So that's it. It's 4 days of you answering questions about you. Okay? So these should be pretty easy because you already know all about yourself, right? So you're writing about something that you know about. Now, on Monday next week, we're going to put all of those paragraphs together to make a Google Doc that tells your life story, your autobiography, okay? So this week, focus on getting those 2 paragraphs written every day, okay, on that slide. And remember, 5 sentences minimum for a paragraph. If you have more details that you want to include, you may do that, okay? But make sure you have at least 5 sentences. If you have any questions and you're not at school until Thursday, be sure to email me, or you can ask questions when you're in school if you're in the A group, okay? But please try to keep up so you don't fall behind, okay? Have a great day and enjoy your writing.